Through the Research Awards program, the National Endowment for the Arts invites applicants to conduct studies grounded in the social and behavioral sciences on priority research topics. In this video, we'll go over the Research Awards program description, highlighting some important things to know. For full information, please review the Research Awards program guidelines and application instructions found on the Research Awards webpage. Through project-based funding, Research Awards support a range of research activities. Research grants in the arts support discrete research studies that investigate the value and/or impact of the arts in American life. NEA Research Labs fund long-term research agendas that include multiple empirical studies and the dissemination of various products or services for promoting public knowledge about the arts and their contributions to American life. Each lab must include an interdisciplinary team of researchers and an arts partner. For both programs, funded projects should have national, regional, or field-wide significance. We welcome applications from a wide range of research fields such as economics, psychology, education, medicine, health and therapy, business administration, and urban and regional planning. We expect the funded projects will be varied in terms of geographic distribution, the artistic and research fields or disciplines involved, and the research topics proposed. We anticipate that the funded projects will reflect an array of study designs. Projects supported through this program include a focus on one or more of the NEA's funding priorities and special interests. Arts and health includes studies that will test or characterize the benefits of the arts or arts and health activities, including creative arts therapies, in terms of health and well-being for people or communities. The NEA has a special interest in military personnel, veterans and their families, pediatric cancer care and other childhood diseases, opioid use prevention, treatment and recovery, disaster relief and emergency response and preparedness, and care of older adults experiencing cognitive or neurodegenerative declines. Arts in the economy includes studies that will test or characterize the benefits of the arts or arts activities in terms of economic or workforce development. The NEA has a special interest in arts and artificial intelligence competency training, in career development for people with disabilities, and/or in preparation for high-paying, skilled trade jobs of the future. Arts and education includes studies that will test or characterize the benefits of the arts or arts activities in terms of school readiness, school engagement, or academic achievement among children from preschool through high school. The NEA has a special interest in learners with autism spectrum disorder or intellectual disabilities. For research grants in the arts, in your application you'll be asked to describe your proposed project in detail. Be sure to include information about specific activities that will take place during the project period, the expected impact and significance of the research project, specifics about the research study design and data access and management. This includes things like sample characteristics, measures, assessments, and data sources, data analysis, works cited or references, and permissions to access and/or collect data, and steps that will be taken to manage the data. We also want to know about the research project team and other related components, including dissemination activities. For research labs, in your application, you'll be asked to describe your proposed project in detail. Be sure to include information about specific activities that will take place during the project period, the expected impact and significance of the research project, details about the short and long-term goals of the research agenda, including a plan for sustaining the multi-year research lab agenda beyond the initial awards period of performance, specifics about the keystone study or studies and data access and management. This includes things like sample characteristics, measures, assessments and data sources, data analysis, works cited or references, and permissions to access and/or collect data, and steps that will be taken to manage the data. We also want to know details about the interdisciplinary research project team, the arts partner, and the technical working group. Finally, a strong component of a research lab is a focus on dissemination. We want to know about your planned web presence, reports, and other research products, as well as presentations to communities of researchers and of arts practitioners. Separately, the NEA expects to host interdisciplinary NEA Research Labs meetings that include multiple NEA Research Lab Award recipients. As you can see, the NEA Research Labs program has more requirements and expectations than the Research Grants in the Arts program. There are some activities and costs that we do not fund under the research programs. We'll go over a few examples here, but a more comprehensive list can be found in the Research Award Program Guidelines PDFs. We do not fund projects that do not include a focus on one of the priority areas, projects that focus exclusively on data acquisition, projects that do not include data analysis conducted during the period of performance, projects that focus exclusively on conducting a literature review, projects involving the study of arts programs, conditions, or characteristics outside the United States, and projects that include the creation and/or installation of public art as part of the proposed project activities and budget. Now we'll go over a few tips. Applications are not compared to each other. Every application is reviewed on its own in relation to the review criteria. Additionally, panelists will not receive information about your previous applications or grants from the NEA as part of their review, unless you specifically mention it in your application materials. Make sure you have a clear outlined plan in your application and have identified the who, what, when, and where of your project so that panelists can understand the scope of your planned activities. We also encourage you to volunteer to be a panelist. It's a great way to learn about the process. There's a link to sign up on the main grants page on our website. And if you know any friends or colleagues who would be good panelists, encourage them to sign up as well. And start early. Each part of the application process can be time-consuming, so give yourself enough time to complete each step. Thank you for joining us. If you have any questions, please reach out to NEA staff at nearesearchgrants@arts.gov.